but I'm going to give you a context both of the kind of theory and some of the applications in different countries around the world where we've done this kind of thing. So, the problem is consulting the public. Now, if you're going to consult the public, some public, you first have to ask yourself two questions. What kind of opinion are you getting from the public, and who are you consulting? How are you selecting the people you are consulting? The easiest thing to do might be just to ask them, right? Public, what do you think about this? In which case you will get, consider 8 forms of public consultation here. You will get self-selected consultation, the people who feel strongly enough to put themselves forward. And this, this is maybe a little funny terminology. I take the word refined actually from Madison, where he talks about public opinion being refined and enlarged by representatives deliberating, thinking. So raw opinion is opinion as you find it in ordinary life. Refined is after people have engaged in some significant discussion of competing arguments and reasons about what to do. A colleague of mine, collaborator of mine at the University of Chicago named Norman Bradford coined the term SLOPs, for self-selected listener opinion polls. All over the world there are SLOPs. He actually coined this many years ago when radio stations would ask viewer call-ins to call in and vote for something. And there's still radio stations that do that. In fact, there are websites that do that. But hence the listener and listener opinion poll. So what's wrong with a slop? Well, they are unrepresentative and open to capture. Actually, my favorite example is at the turn of the millennium. You remember that, 2000? Time magazine decided to have a world consultation. First time the people of the whole world would be consulted about anything, and about who were the leading figures of the 20th century. Who was the leading thinker of the 20th century? Who was the leading statesman? Who was the leading general? Who was the leading entertainer? For some reason also, who was the best dresser? I don't know why they put that in. So those were the 5 categories. Millions of people around the world voted. And for some strange reason, the same person won in every category. One person was the leader in all 5 categories. Anybody imagine who such a person could be? 20th century now, long time ago. Well, it turned out that the person who was getting all the votes was Ataturk, the founder of modern Turkey, because the Turks mobilized, and they had millions of school children voting over and over. Greatest general, yes. Ataturk. Greatest statesman, yes. Best dresser, yes. All the categories, millions and millions of them. On the internet, also sending in postcards. The magazine was flooded with them. So actually what happened is the Greeks, who have a rivalry with the Turks, found out about it and were very upset. So they found out the next person was Winston Churchill. So they mobilized behind Winston Churchill to see if they could get enough votes for it, but they couldn't. So the slop, you see, is open to capture. It's open to capture by organized groups. The Obama administration, which has done many wonderful things, tried to do many wonderful things, actually made the same mistake. In fact, they're doing it now with a website called We the People. And they did it at the beginning of the administration in the transition when they wanted to consult the public online, because online it's really easy to get about what were the greatest challenges facing the country. At that point, remember there were 2 wars and there was the Great Recession.